Okay, here is the lesson. So we are going to do lesson 5A. So this is in your green book on page 58. Page 58. I think this will be a shorter lesson than usual. Does everyone see my screen okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. I want to make sure. Also, I think most of you took the exam. I think most of you did okay. That was not an easy exam. Um, and like all exams, you do have to study. And sometimes you have to study a lot. But a lot of new things that you guys have learned in units 3 and 4. And you want to continue to study those. You have to go back and study all of these units, especially lessons B and C in every unit, because that's where you have your grammar, that's where you have the new uses of English that you want to practice. And so you want to continue to go back and look at those many times. Okay, Unit 5 is, we'll introduce some other new grammar and things that you'll have in lessons B and C. This lesson is to prepare us with some new vocabulary words and to introduce the idea of things that you can do in your city. It says around town. And so, we don't live in a town. A town is like, it's like a pueblo. It's something smaller, okay? Dallas is a city, a ciudad. It's larger. But there are many things that you can do in a city like Dallas. So let's look at these pictures, and everyone, if you go ahead and stay unmuted if you can, at least the students. And what do you see in picture number 1? What do you have here?
Do we have a family
Okay,
looking at the computer?
very good.
Yes.
We have a family. We have a mother, a father, and a young son. And they are, yes, they are looking at their computer. Now, so that you can think about what they're doing, they're actually looking on their computer for things that they can do during their weekend. So many people don't work on Saturdays and Sundays. I know a lot of people have to work on those days, but they don't work on Saturday and Sunday, so they want to find something that they can go do as a family. So that's what these pictures are about. So look at the picture number 2. Let me get my marker out here and I can use it for a pointer. Okay, number 2 right there. What does that look like?
I can see many people.
Mm-hmm.
And is that on a stage?
Yes, right. That is a stage. And can you see, you might have to look in your book and not on my screen. And
Yeah.
let me get my book. It will be bigger. Can you see, what does it look like they're doing on the stage?
I think that happened before the COVID,
Before what?
the COVID-19.
Oh, yes. Yes. Although I think some of the people are social distanced, maybe. So this is actually a concert, a concert. And so that's an English word that's very similar to your Spanish word, because your Spanish word is concierto.
Yes.
It's almost the same, concert,
Yes. Yes.
concierto. So that's an easy word for you to remember. So in many cities, there are free concerts that are usually outdoors. So this concert obviously is outside, and the people are sitting either on the grass, or they brought their own folding chairs from their house. And how is the weather at the concert? Does the weather look good, or do you think there's a problem with the weather?
Yeah, the weather looks good.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, I can see that there are shadows. Shadows. So that means the sun is shining. This is probably in the late afternoon, maybe, because I don't think it's in the morning. So yes, these people are going to a free concert. Sometimes Dallas has free concerts. I know that there are different churches, like my church is Park Cities Presbyterian, and they had a free Christmas concert that they did 3 different times, so that they could have, I think they had 350 people in each concert because of COVID-19. But that's over 1,000 people that could come to the free Christmas concerts. So that was a very nice thing that they did. So, and there are other concerts like that that you can find in the city. Okay, that's picture number 2. Now, the next one we have is picture number 3. What does this look like?
It looks like garden and the people are walking.
Very good. Yes, this is some kind of garden, maybe a park that has a nice garden in it. And yes, so people can walk through this garden. They can see that the trees and the shrubs, or the little bushes. I think bushes are arbustos,
Mhm.
are very well kept. The grass is very pretty. So places like this, like a park or a garden, are very often they are free. Has anyone been to a garden like this in Dallas anywhere?
No,
Okay.
no. Just around the lake, Backman Lake.
Yes, yes. I don't know if there are gardens around
Similar.
Lockman Lake. Dallas has a very nice garden place, outdoor garden called the Arboretum. but I don't think the Arboretum is actually free. But I don't think it's very expensive. But I have been to the Arboretum maybe 2 or 3 times. And it's very nice. A lot of, this picture does not have flowers, but usually some kind of outdoor park will have a lot of pretty flowers and things, or all different varieties of trees and things like that. Okay, good. All right, now the next picture is picture number 4 over here aside. Now that one is more difficult to see what that is. Does anyone have ideas of what this place might be?
Yeah, it's a big building, but
Mm-hmm.
we don't
Right.
know what exactly it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is supposed to be a museum.
Okay.
Museum. Okay. Now that's another word that you probably know because it's very much like your Spanish word museo. Museum. Museum.
Museum. Okay. Yeah.
So what kinds of things do you find in museums? Any
Picture
ideas?
the last year we went in the airport, very close to the church.
Right. Okay. That's the Air Flight Museum near Love Field. Right. That is a museum, and that was free.
Yeah.
I think that museum is free,
Okay.
usually. So you could go with your children again, or with a friend, and look at all of the different airplanes and things they have there. It's very interesting. I don't think this museum has airplanes, but it might have something like art.
Okay.
Okay, so art is like paintings. So usually you go to art museums, you have paintings or statues of different kinds. There are many, many different kinds of art, right? Dallas has different museums downtown, like the museum. There's the Museum of Natural History. There's an art museum downtown Dallas. Let's see. I think Fort Worth has some museums also, but usually those kinds of museums have a small, they charge a little bit of money for entrance. Okay, good. Look at picture number 5, and where that's circle. That's one. So where do you think this is?
I think the grandma is talking with her grandchild.
Maybe the grandchildren?
Yes.
Well, that is one possibility because we don't know who all of these people are. But yes, there's a woman, and what does she have in her hand?
She has a book.
Good.
And
So what do you think she is doing with the book?
she's showing them, I think, pictures
Right.
or
Okay.
something like that.
So the book has a story
Oh,
in it.
okay.
Um, and so all of these different people are listening, right? They're listening to the story. So there are some children, there are some adults, but I think this is actually inside of a library.
Okay.
So Dallas also has public libraries, and probably some of you have been to the library before. A library is not only a place where you go to get a book. And so they have different types of events. Like this lady is telling a story for children. And so the children are there probably with their mother and father to hear the storytelling that the woman does. Um, and sometimes the libraries do this for different for children or different people that don't get a lot of opportunities to do this. Um, so as we look at the exercises on the next page, we will be talking about this family here, Wen and his wife Mai and the son Chen, because they want to figure out what to do on the weekend. Um, let's see. Before we do a listening exercise, though, I want to show you on my screen. Let's see if I have to reduce this a little bit. There. Okay, so I brought up here on my screen some different free things that you can do around Dallas. And so this is a website. It's called Visit Dallas. And so it has this little area here called Things to Do. And I clicked on that and it brought up these different events. So these are actually free events. And so they have an event going on tomorrow where you can go around and experience margaritas. If you're interested in going around and experiencing margaritas, there's a free event for you.
Oh, great. That sounds great.
Yeah, it does. I think I'm going to be too busy tomorrow, and
Oh,
I'm not sure about drinking margaritas in the middle of the day anyway. But there's an event here called Glow Forest down at Oak Cliff Cultural Center. This one's interesting. They even have free Spanish classes for children. I think this would be children that speak English. So
yes.
um, I I'm interested in finding out a little bit about that. But that's actually every day. It says daily
Mm.
through January 30th. But this is a free Zoom event. So anyway, some of these other things are older events. So this is an example of where you can find what we would call community events. All right, things that are going on in the city that you can do without spending money. Okay, because some people don't like to spend money. Dallas has their Dallas Libraries has a website. Oh, one thing about this other one, I could not find anywhere that you can change this to a Spanish website. A lot of different websites have both English and Spanish, but I didn't see that on this one. Um, and I'm not sure about Dallas Library. I would really be surprised. Here's some Spanish right here, but yeah, I don't see other stuff. So, but usually they will have different events that they have going on. In fact, here's events right here. So what comes up that. Oh, this is their calendar. And then you have to go to different branches. But I just wanted to show you that one. And here's another page. This is Dallas Parks and Recreation. And so they have the things to do area as well. Looks like we lost Maria. Maybe she'll rejoin. And actually they tell you to go do the Visit Dallas one, which is the first one that we looked at. But here it talks about Bachman Lake. You have some things you can do there. Fair Park. You have a water park. Cedar Ridge Preserve. This is something down near Duncanville. I've actually been there. It's very nice. Children's Aquarium. You can go take your children to see fish. Okay, the Arboretum. That's the park I mentioned. And this would tell you whether it costs to go in. You have the Dallas Zoo. Okay, so all of these are examples of things to do in Dallas. Now, let's listen to a conversation that this family is going to have, and you want to listen very carefully here, and we'll see if we can answer some of these questions they have. For example, they will talk about something that is going to open at 10 o'clock. Okay, well, that one is already provided here. It says the art exhibit. Okay, and there's something that starts at 10:30. There's something that starts at 11. And then it says the family will do this first. Okay, and that's going to be one of these. And the family will do this if the weather is nice. Okay, so when you say the weather is nice, that means there's no rain, there's no snow, it's not stormy. Nice means it's very sunny, maybe not too hot, because some things in the middle of the summer in Dallas is just too hot to be outside. Okay. So I have a recording for this, and let's go ahead and listen to the recording. I hope you can hear this. Let me see if I can get, yeah, I've got the volume. Let's see.
Unit 5, Around Town.
Okay, do you hear that?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, let me play this.
Page 59, exercises 2A and 2B.
May, I'm so glad tomorrow is Friday. It's been a long week.
Ah, that's for sure. What would you like to do this weekend, Wen?
Well, there are a few movies we haven't seen yet. Or we could go to a concert downtown.
Oh, we can't afford to go to concerts, Wen. They're too expensive. And I'm sort of tired of going to the movies.
Okay, so let's do something different on Sunday. Something we haven't done yet this summer.
Like what? Got any ideas?
Let's check the newspaper for community events. Maybe we'll find something free right here in the neighborhood.
Oh,
Let's take a look. We have a lot of options. Here's something interesting. There's a concert in the park on Sunday at noon. Admission is free.
and here, look. There's a free walking tour of the gardens on Sunday at 11 o'clock.
Here's another option, May. The Museum of Art is free the first Sunday of every month. There's an exhibit of modern art showing now. The museum opens at 10 a.m.
Oh, and here's something at the library. Free storytelling for children on Sunday at 10:30. Everything is happening on the same day at the same time. What do you want to do, Wen?
Why don't we go to the library first?
Okay.
Then let's plan to go to the concert if the weather is nice. And then maybe later we can go to the art museum.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'll check the weather forecast for the weekend. Then we can decide.
Okay, so that was a little bit of a long conversation, and the talking moves fast, and so you do have to listen very carefully. But I hope you were able to understand a lot of the things that they said. So you heard them talking about different things that they could do. Where were they looking to find what they wanted to do? Were they looking on their computer?
No, it's in the newspaper.
Yes, good. So they were looking in the newspaper, and you could hear the paper making noise when they were looking. Okay, so look at the question here. Says, who are the speakers? Excuse me. Who is talking in this audio?
They are Wen and May.
Right. Hang on. There's someone joining. That may be Maria coming back. Yeah. Right. That's the family on the other page. Wen, Mai, and their little son. And number 2 here says, what are they talking about? What are they talking about?
They are talking about the plans for the weekend.
Okay, very good.
Yes.
They want to find things to do during the weekend. And yes, they want to make a plan. That's a good word to know, a plan. That's another word that's the same as Spanish, a plan. Okay, good. So I think she said she did not want to go to the movies because she was tired of going to the movies. So you guys know what it means to be tired. Okay, and sometimes we get tired of doing things. You hear your children say that a lot. Oh, I'm tired of school. Or I'm tired of sitting in front of my computer and listening to my teacher. There's a lot of people that are tired of COVID-19, right?
Yes, we are.
But yes, we are all very tired of COVID-19. Amen. So the questions now number one has what was the thing that opens at 10 o'clock. Okay, they talked about the art exhibit, and that's actually in the museum. Okay, so they mentioned the art exhibit. Did you hear what is starting number two at 10:30?
Is the storytelling?
Good. Yes, that's going to be the storytelling at the library. Okay, so that's what the picture is at the bottom here of the woman telling the story. That's something that would be good for the little boy, and it's also free. Number three, what starts at 11 o'clock?
Is the garden tour?
That's correct. The garden tour starts at 11. So that's picture number three on the other page. So they're going to walk around the gardens. And when you do a tour, usually there is someone, there's like a tour guide, a person who leads you on the tour to talk about different things that you see. So if you go to like a historical site, a place that's famous because of the history there, you really want a tour guide to explain what happened at this particular place. That's very, very helpful.
Okay.
Let's see, what starts at, oh, we did 11. Okay. What is the family on number 4? What is the family going to do first?
Is the storytelling?
Yes, I think they were going to do the storytelling first.
Yes.
And I think that was the event at 10:30, right? Yeah, number 2, it was at 10:30. Good. And then number 5, it said the family will do this if the weather is nice.
They want to go, if the weather is nice, outdoor concert.
Good. All right. The outdoor concert. Good. You can't do an outdoor concert if it's raining.
Yeah.
No one will come.
No.
Okay, good. Let's oh, and you can listen to this exercise again with your own phone. I think you guys know how to do that. And these are good exercises to listen to the English, and you need to listen to conversations in English as much as you can.
Okay.
Okay, good. So Jose, I think you're still the only person that has a microphone. Oh, Maria has a microphone. Maria, I can have you read a little bit too, if you want to. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. So Jose, let's see. Go ahead and start reading, and I'll have you stop at some point. And if you don't know the words, actually, let me talk about these words first. All right. I think that will be helpful. So the first word here is the word admission. Admission. Okay. So admission, like if you go to a place that charges money to come inside, we call that the admission or the admission charge. So if you go to the zoo, for example, you have to pay the admission to go inside. Okay.
Okay.
Another word is like a fee, but usually a fee has maybe a negative sense to it. It's definitely different than a now I know the Spanish word, I can't think of the English word, a multa, a fine. Multa is a fine. It's not like that.
Mhm.
So admission cost. You pay admission to go to the movies, you pay admission to go to a concert if it's not free, or a museum if it's not free. Okay, the word afford, usually the word afford is used in a negative way because people will say, I can't afford, and it's usually something that costs too much or that's expensive. So I think Mai was saying we can't afford to go to a concert because it's too much money. Okay. So a lot of people, for example, want a new iPhone, but they can't afford a new iPhone because they're so expensive. So they say, oh, I can't afford to spend that much money. We have the word concert, and we already described that one, concierto. Events. Events is another word that's almost the same as what you have in Spanish, eventos. Okay,
Yes.
it's easy one, event, and it means the same, eventos.
Yeah.
Exhibit. Exhibit is something like you would have at the maybe the State Fair of Texas. Of course, we did not have the State Fair in 2020, but in 2019 and all of the years before, we had the State Fair. And the State Fair has a lot of what we call exhibits. Exhibits are like where you can go see all of the different animals that that are on display, cows and pigs and horses, just all different kinds of animals that are brought to the State Fair. They usually have an exhibit of all of the new cars. So those are called exhibits, exhibit. Options. Options is another word that's almost the same as Spanish. You have opción
Mhm.
on this, and it means the same. And then we talked about storytelling. That's what picture number 5 was, is the woman is telling the story. She's reading the book, telling the story that's in the book. And then a tour. A tour is the idea of visiting a lot of different places. So I know you're familiar with what we call tourist, because in Spanish is turista. We have tourism as turismo, but I don't think Spanish has a word tour that's the same as, that's similar to English. And I can't think of
It's the same.
other than it's visiting different places, maybe in the city. You go on a tour of maybe several museums. We would say that's a tour. Okay. So we lost Maria again. So Jose, you get to do all the reading.
Mhm.
Oh, Gerardo, you got your microphone back. I'll let you read too. You'll have to unmute. So let's go ahead and read, Jose.
Okay. It is Thursday. Gwen and May are talking about their plans for the weekend. They can't afford to spend a lot of money on entertainment.
Entertainment. Yeah,
Entertainment.
good. So that's, you see the negative there? They can't afford to spend a lot of money. And that's the normal way that we use the word afford.
Okay. They decide to check the newspaper for free community events
Good,
on Sunday.
good. So that's events.
Events on Sunday.
Mhm.
They have many options. There's an outdoor concert in the park, a walking tour of
Tour.
the tour
Uh-huh.
of the gardens, a modern art exhibit at, at the art museum,
Museum. Mhm.
and storytelling for children at the library. All these events have free admission.
Okay, good. There's your admission there. So that means there's no
No
charge,
charge.
no charge for that. Okay. Um, Gerardo, are you able to unmute now? See if I can get that prompted.
Testing.
Great. You want to read the rest of that?
So where he ending?
In
Where's
admission.
Yeah,
Issue?
so we stopped where it says number 7 there. Free
Okay.
admission.
Okay, the problem is that all those things are happening on Sunday at the same time. Me and when decide to take their son to the storytelling first.
Good.
Then if the weather is nice, they will go to the concert. Later, they might go to the art museum.
The art museum. Good. Okay. Okay. Good. All right. So again, these are really good exercises for you with reading, and you're learning some new words. You're also learning that there are really a lot of Spanish or English words that are very similar to Spanish, and that can help in a lot of ways. So to practice more of this, let me go ahead and stop sharing my screen here, and I'll bring you guys back over. I can grab my Zoom window. There we go. Okay. So in your white book, you'll want to do the homework on pages 54 and 55. 54 and 55. And Allie, this is more good practice of what we just did. And then Allie will review that homework with you on Wednesday.
Okay.
So we'll do the class on Wednesday at the same time. And I think the Zoom link will be the same for every class,
Okay.
but we will send it out every time, okay, so that you see it and it's easy for you to click on, because I know you guys have to do this from your cell phones.
Yeah.
And hopefully we will get some of the other students back. We'll check on them, make sure they didn't have problems getting in with Zoom.